And now Tarek Cherkaoui is the manager of TRT World Research Centre, and he joins me now here in the studio. Thank you very much for joining us, Tarek. So, indeed, a historic day and a very important day for Turkey. Before I ask you some analytical questions about this day and what happened in the aftermath of the coup, tell me, where were you and what did you think at the time when the coup attempt unfolded 7 years ago?
Yeah, well, I wasn't here on location, but lots of my friends were here, and lots of our colleagues actually were here, even in the premises of TRT. And as you know, some of the troops that were parts of this military hostile takeover of the country, this FETO network operation. One of the aims was to target media places, and one of the media outlets that were targeted first was TRT. And a lot of our friends, let's remember, in 2016, it was TRT World was just incepted. It was a few months in operation. So a lot of people were just recruited. A lot of people were just coming to work here in the newsroom, and they were shocked with these elements coming. Doing all this, very, very aggressive. A lot of people were pushed. But fortunately, the thing is that these people didn't know how communication and media work. They didn't know that actually the operation was also continued from London.
Yeah.
And although a lot of our colleagues were scared, but the work was done, and the communication of the message that supports the will of the people of Turkey was coming straight away from London, and everything went very well.
Right. Now, Tarek, I want to expand the discussion and basically talk about Turkey's foreign relations. In what ways do you think the July 15, 2016 coup attempt has influenced Turkey's foreign policy?
Well, I think definitely it's a defining event of the 21st century for Turkey. We have listened to the president talking about the parallels with the independence war. I think as much as the independence war was very important for Turkey to preserve the sovereignty, the national will, the independence, the defeat in the coup was also very, very important, because from that point onward, let's imagine the other case scenario. Let's imagine for a while, God forbid, that the coup plotters succeeded. We would have a Turkey that has no sovereignty, no national will. It will be completely a vassal state for some foreign powers, probably Western powers. It would have been dragged into the mud. A lot of debts to the IMF and the World Bank. A lot of the things that Turkey has been able to do in terms of foreign policy. Look at operations against terrorism in Syria. Look at the support that was given to the UN-recognized government in Libya. Look at the support that was given to Azerbaijan in its 44-day war. If all of this would never have happened, we would have a very docile, a very malleable, a very yes man in control of this country, and unfortunately this would have downgraded the position of Turkey around the world.
Do you think it was in the strategic interest of some countries to have a Turkey like you just described?
Absolutely. I think, look, I come from the research background, and there is a body of literature associated with coup and how coup are part of the global power politics. We know for sure that the U.S. and even the Soviet Union at some stage, the United Kingdom and France resorted very often to coup in many parts of the world, including Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So this is part and parcel of global power politics. It's nothing new. And I will refer you to a book by someone who works for the U.S. Department of State, and he called the America's deadliest export, democracy. And he quoted in his book, and the guy worked for the Department of State, he said that we had toppled at least 30 governments around the world. Some of them were very democratic government. So the thing is, this is not a scenario, this is not something like a fantasy scenario. This is something that has happened around the world for many decades. And unfortunately, Turkey was, at that time, I think, part of that dynamic. There was a Trojan horse here. There was a parallel state. There was a terror network that was infiltrating deep inside the state that tried to move on and make this very catastrophic scenario happen.
Right, but this coup attempt was defeated.
failed.
And you know, one statement that really stands out for me is one that was made by the Turkish president on the night of 15th of July 2016, in which he basically said that he has not seen any power greater than the power of the people, and that is primarily why this coup was defeated. Tarek, thank you very much for coming here and speaking to us here in the studio.